Alright, well, hello class, it's me, Judge. I'm staring to the right of the screen, and I chose to do my project of adaptation on the graphic novel Watchmen, written by Alan Moore, and the movie Watchmen, directed by Zack Snyder. And today I'll be arguing why it's a good adaptation. And here is a little plot summary of the book. Watchmen is set in an alternative 1985 America in which costume superheroes are part of the fabric of everyday society, and the Doomsday Clock, which charts the USA's tension with the Soviet Union, is permanently set at 5 minutes to midnight. The Watchmen, comprised of the comedian Dr. Manhattan, Night Owl, Ozymandias, Rorschach, and Silk Spectre, are a desperate band of mass superheroes modeled after the Minutemen, who were mass superheroes of a generation earlier, most of whom were dead or afflicted by the ravages of life. Now, when one of his former colleagues is murdered, the washed-up but no less determined mass vigilante Rorschach sets out to uncover a plot to kill and discredit all past and present superheroes. As he reconnects with his former crime-fighting legion, a ragtag group of retired superheroes, only one of whom has true powers, Rorschach glimpses a wide-ranging and disturbing conspiracy with links to their shared pasts and catastrophic consequences for the future. Their mission is to watch over humanity, but who is watching the Watchmen? Alright, now that you guys are familiar with the overall plot, let's talk about the book versus the movie and how they are different in terms of scenes, characters, filming techniques, and even themes. Did I say themes twice? Alright, doesn't matter. The truth is, both the book and the movie have the same exact background. The only major difference we see in the movie that isn't included in the book is the alternative ending. The story ends with the reader finding out that Ozymandias, a former Watchmen member, was behind Eddie Blake's murder. He murdered Eddie, also known as the comedian, because he knew about Ozymandias' plan, which was to create an alien that would destroy half of New York in an attempt to unite the country's power and end the possibility of a World War III. The movie's ending is a little different. In the movie, Ozymandias is able to clone Dr. Manhattan's powers and teleport that explosive power to all major cities throughout the world, making Dr. Manhattan the world's enemy in the end and uniting all countries to fight against him. I believe the director did this to make the ending more believable and realistic. And it's okay, because the story still ends the same, with nuclear war no longer being a threat to the world. There were also some small scenes in the book that weren't included in the movie, such as minor character roles. Because they were so minor and had no major role in the actual plot, Snyder decided, why even have them? We also get less backstory about the old superheroes known as the Minutemen for time purposes, while in the book there are notes in between each chapter that dive into the backstory more. However, in return, Snyder adds longer fight scenes and includes a subplot about energy resources. Now let's talk about the characters and their physical appearances. The actors in the movie looked exactly the same as the characters in the book. Character costumes were also very faithful to its original design, all except for Night Owl's costume and Ozymandias'. Every character is a perfect match of their description in the book, yet the emotions of the characters shift slightly. Dr. Manhattan in the movie is more vindictive towards characters. We also get a lot more scenes in the book about his progressive detachment from wearing clothes than we do in the movie, yet in both it's still pretty clear that he's losing that human part of himself. Ozymandias is depicted as a warm hero in the book, while in the movie he is seen as a man with sociopathic ideas. For example, when Night Owl confronts him about killing all those innocent people in New York, and we see little to no reaction from him, he feels little to no guilt, unlike the book's version of him. Night Owl is seen as brave and confident, especially when standing up to Rorschach in the movie. However, in the book, he is less confident and fears Rorschach and Dr. Manhattan. Despite the less background information we get about the character's past, and regardless of the small shift in character emotions we see in the movie, I still think it's a good adaptation, because by making the audience see a character as either good or bad, makes it easier for them to accept that character's fate. And by adding specific emotion to that character, the audience is able to develop a stronger connection to them. The last major reason the film is a good adaptation is because of the way it's filmed. Zack Snyder not only brought the superheroes to life by giving them superhuman strength, but also through CGI. He was able to bring all of the imaginative images from the book to life, like, for example, Dr. Manhattan's fluorescent appearance, Rorschach's mask, or even Dr. Manhattan's gigantic glass structure he created on Mars, by the way. And all of this is due to CGI. Snyder also stays faithful to the comic book by incorporating the comic book's panel grid as a storyboard for the film. Fun fact. Now, if it hasn't been 5 minutes yet, and I'm kind of under the time, I'd like to expand a little bit more. The movie also makes sure to convey the messages and themes that are illustrated in the book. One of those major messages could be power and control. Book is talking about how power is never ending, that someone's always answering to someone else. We all work for someone. In terms of control, the book is about people trying to control each other and how humans really have no control over their own lives. An example we see in the movie is when Dr. Manhattan is attacking Vietnam. How his power is something feared by not only the Vietnamese soldiers, but everyone in the entire world. It's being broadcasted, and they are now understanding that his power is something that they can't physically control. If Dr. Manhattan were to, decide to be evil one day, there would be no way of controlling his power, and their lives are not in their hands anymore.